Everybody, I'm going to show you guys how to make a banana pudding. It's not going to be any of that box mess. We're going to do everything from scratch. So you'll find all the ingredients in the video as well as in the description box. So here in my bowl I have 1/3 cup of all-purpose flour. To that I'm going to add 1/4 cup plus 2 tablespoons of granulated sugar. And then I'm going to add in 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Now the salt is important because the salt will help thicken everything up. So I'm going to whisk the dry ingredients together and set it aside for just a moment. So now the wet ingredients, I'm going to put in 2 cups of whole milk, and I'm using lactose-free milk. I have 3 egg yolks. I don't use the meringue topping, so I just take the egg yolks, the egg whites, and I save them. So my egg yolks, they are at room temperature. So I'm just going to whisk the eggs and the milk together. So I have here pure Mexican vanilla. This is alcohol-free. You get this from Baba Grand's. You can find a link in the description box. So I'm just going to put in about 2 teaspoons. Give everything a mix. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe and ring the notification bell to be notified of my uploads. And don't forget to check out my previous videos. So I'm going to show you how to set up a double boiler. You don't have to have a double boiler to do this. So I have a large skillet, and then I have a cheesecake pan, the ring from a cheesecake pan. This is a 7-inch one. And I'm going to pour in enough water to come up about 1 inch. You just want it to come up to about 1 inch around the sides of the pan. So I'm going to turn on my heat here. I'm going to start on about medium. We're going to just let this come up to a simmer. So everything is beginning to come to a simmer. So I'm on medium-low heat. You don't want to boil this. You don't want this to be rapidly boiling because it can get too hot and it can scramble the eggs. So I'm going to just set my bowl on top. It's important that you have the edges of the pan here exposed. That way, again, too much heat won't be gathered under the bowl and cause your eggs to scramble. So we're just going to pour in some of the egg mixture here, and we're just going to begin to whisk everything together. I'm just going to work rather quickly. So I'm whisking this first portion together. The way I am is to prevent everything from becoming lumpy. And having this sitting on the cheesecake pan ring gives you the ability to kind of maneuver the pan so you can see that everything in the bottom is smooth. So I'm just going to pour in the rest of the egg vanilla milk mixture. So I'm going to be stirring pretty often. I'm going to switch to my spatula. I just love the spatulas from Tupperware. I'm absolutely obsessed with Tupperware. Sarah sells Tupperware. So I'm just going to continue stirring on medium heat. I'm going to keep watching the amount of water that's down in the lower pan. If the water gets too low, I'll just replenish it, but you don't want the water to be more than 1 inch to the size of the pan. So I'm going to continue to stir this often, and you're going to see everything begin to thicken up. It'll take about 4 to 5 minutes. Okay, so I've been going for a few minutes, and I did increase the heat a bit, so I'm at about medium-high. And I just want to show you, as it starts to come up to a boil like that, just turn the heat down a little bit. So I've been stirring everything for a while, and it's beginning to get thick. So I've been switching between my whisk and my rubber spatula. So it's beginning to get really thick. So as it starts to thicken up, you just want to cook the pudding for about another 2 to 3 minutes. So I'm moving the whisk around, just sort of maneuvering the bowl around. It's best that you use a pot holder as well, but I'm sort of used to touching a hot bowl. You see it's starting to thicken a lot. You can see the texture is changing. So I'm going to turn the heat down even lower. I'm just moving my spatula all around the sides and the bottom of the bowl because I don't want to have any eggs that are scrambled, and I don't want the pudding to be lumpy. Turn the heat down even lower. I'm going to switch to my whisk and just Give it one final whisk. So it's pretty thick now, so I'm just going to turn off the heat. It's really thick. It's smooth. There aren't any lumps. I'm going to remove this off the heat, and we're going to go ahead and assemble the pudding. So I have a 10-cup bowl here. It's a Tupperware bowl, and I'm lining the bottom with my vanilla wafers, and then as I get the bottom line, I'm leaning some up against the sides of the bowl here. So you can use 4 to 5 bananas. I'm going to use 4. Some people like more cookies than bananas. Just, you know, customize it however you like. So I'm going to slice the banana up and spread the banana across the bottom. So after getting a layer of bananas, then you're going to just pour over some of this vanilla pudding custard that we made. Now, as it sits for a minute, it might kind of look like it's lumpy, but just spoon it back to, whisk it back together. So I'm just going to put just a little bit of that pudding over a layer of cookies, then another layer of bananas and a layer of pudding. I'm just going to repeat the layering process. So here's the final of my banana pudding, and I just garnished the top with some extra cookies. I'm not going to taste this because I'm not a fan of banana pudding, but believe me, it is absolutely delicious. The custard, the vanilla pudding is out of this world. I typically would eat it without bananas, but please try this recipe. Let me know how it comes out, and share this video. Leave a comment down below. And thank you so much for watching and subscribing. Please remember to love each other.